Probably, kangaroos seem cute to us because they are at the same time very different from us, and at the same time, thanks to the habit of standing straight and grabbing objects with their front paws hands, they are somewhat similar to us. Here too, although a dog is a friend of a person, you involuntarily begin to worry about the kangaroo. After all, the duck has already driven him into the water. So what will happen to the boar marsupial? It turns out that there is nothing wrong. He is not as defenseless as it may seem at first glance. It seems that going into the water is a part of his insidious plan. With one sharp movement, the kangaroo grabs the dog and begins to drown him. It seems as if an ordinary hunting scene has turned into a thriller. The kangaroo lifts its head away from the water, but its grip does not weaken, so the animal really resembles some kind of negative character who revealed his true nature at the very last moment. The dog, however, manages to escape, but it isn't likely that he will hunt kangaroos now. Probably this cobra was expecting an easy hunt when it got into the yard to people. Well, there are no mongooses nearby, nor is there a man with a gun. This means that both the chickens and their mother hen will become easy prey. Perhaps the snake thought so too, but he was wrong. The chicken decided that this yard needed a new hero. Some of them don't wear capes. They cackle and fuss, but at the right moment, they are the first to attack a dangerous enemy. It was this feat that was accomplished by the simplest chicken, which did not even try to take its offspring away from the yard. Instead, the self-confident bird calmly approaches the cobra, which could have stopped the heart of an adult elephant with just one bite. The snake is already shocked by this impudence, but this is just the beginning. Now the chicken will give such a beating to the reptile that the cobra will forever forget the way to this yard. Let the bird cannot resist the snake's venom, it still needs to be bitten. The chicken acts unexpectedly nimbly and leaves the cobra no chance to inflict a dangerous bite. Lions and tigers are different species, but they belong to the same family, the panthers. And although the structure of the skull and skeleton are almost the same, tigers are much larger, by about 10 to 15%. It's like the difference between boxers in different weight categories. Only when these tigers decided that the territory of the enclosure belonged to them completely, they were in for an unpleasant surprise. There is one lion and two tigers, but the mighty king of beasts does not care about it. Striped predators can be incredibly strong, but fighting skills and courage turned out to be the lion's trump cards. However, in the wild, the same lions and tigers cannot create married couples. Once their habitat coincided over a fairly large area in India, now there is only one reserve where they can theoretically meet each other. This is the Gierski Forest. There will be no particularly tender feelings between them due to the differences in lifestyle and competition for food. But since tigers prefer dense thickets and lions like plains, they have to fight in exceptional cases. Therefore, it is usually those predators that are kept in captivity that will sort out the relationship. Here, big cats do not compete for food and share a rather cramped space. Tigers have a huge impact force and are able to break a horse's spine. Although the mane gives the lions a more impressive appearance, if we compare only muscle mass, they are inferior to tigers by much. But still, the striped predator is forced to give up and retreat. He really shouldn't have attacked that lion. It was a big mistake to mess with such an incredible opponent. What is the secret of the victory of the king of beasts? In combat skills, the lion strikes more accurately. His mane plays the role of natural armor. In addition, this lion is more stable. The tiger tries to dominate, rises on its hind legs, and attacks from above. It would have made another opponent run away in a panic, but the lion is too brave. And the fact that he retains at least 3 points of support and hits with one paw more than often than the other two This allows him to throw opponents off balance during the offensive and force them to retreat and fall. And who are you rooting for in this fight? Answer in the comments. Mountain eagles are incredibly cool predators that are able to lift a mountain goat several times heavier than themselves, then drop their prey from a mountain ledge. And only then, enjoy lunch. But something has gone wrong here. This ungulate turned out to be too cool of prey, and the eagle is very clearly surprised. He did not expect such a rebuff. Yes, the goat falls, but the bird also falls with it. Their fight at a great height is exciting. A little more, and you might start to feel dizzy. Opponents fall again and again, but the goat does not lose its balance. Now he uses gravity as his ally. The ungulate with acceleration falls directly on the eagle, pinning it to the rock. I think something cracked, but we must give this bird its due. It has not let go of its grip and tries to continue the fight. Another mistake. The goat understands that the victim did not have enough cuffs, so he still throws off the predator and then runs away, and even tramples into the bargain. At the same time, the goat was gladly supported by a relative who also walked on the bird with sharp hooves. Today, the eagle will be left without lunch. Hippos are said to be the most dangerous animals in Africa. Although they seem pretty cute with their big noses, they are actually incredibly vicious critters. This is one of the few territorial herbivore species that fiercely defends their land, like some kind of saber-toothed tiger. A very thick layer of adipose tissue under a strong, smooth, and firm skin plays the role of an almost insurmountable armor. The fangs and claws of many predators just slip off of it. At the same time, the hippopotamus competes with the rhinoceros for the title of the second largest, strongest, and most massive land mammal on the planet after the elephant. To this set of advantages, you need to add huge fangs, each as long as a pirate saber. With them, a hippopotamus can crush bones. In general, as you understand, these animals are doing well with self-confidence. Hippos just are not afraid of anyone. They dictate the conditions on their own territory. Hippos can attack a predator simply because it annoys them. This giant is absolutely not afraid of fighting and seems to be only happy about the opportunity to show his character. But at the same time, the hippopotamus fights very cruelly. He goes to ram, tries to trample, but first of all it bites, crushes with its jaws, and pierces with its fangs. There are a lot of cases of attacks even on motorboats. The hippopotamus easily destroys the wooden hull of a small vessel, and he can also unexpectedly attack a herbivore, which certainly does not threaten him in any way. In general, this bully behaves like a real scumbag. As you understand, such self-confidence could not end well for him. Usually a hippo is not afraid of lions and does not try to escape. Instead, the giant goes on the attack himself. Well, we must admit, the beginning of the fight really took place according to the rules of the hippopotamus. Just look at the monstrous force with which he squeezed the lioness's head in his jaws. It seems like he could swallow her completely, but the strength of the lions is not really in the huge power of the blow or the jaws. By the way, their bite force is not so great. The jaguar bites better. No, the strength of the lions is in the pride. These lionesses can't handle a hippo? Well, 7 predatory cats will take up the case then. 7 can't finish the job either? No problem. A male comes to their aid. There is a stereotype that male lions do not hunt. That's not the case. They simply do not sit in ambush, as their mane immediately betrays a predator in any environment. But if the lionesses have surrounded too strong a prey, the male will definitely come to the rescue. joint efforts have turned a giant ferocious hippopotamus from a horror movie for all the surrounding swamps into a hearty breakfast for the entire pride. An agile fox attacked a lone goatling. It seems the little one has no chance, as the young animal is left unprotected by its parents. However, the predator didn't realize the challenge it was facing. The pursuit took place among the rocky terrain, and the goatling demonstrated exceptional maneuverability, hiding behind turns of the mountain trail. The fox closes in, but at the last moment realizes it's a trap. The herbivore lured the predator onto steep cliffs, where the agile goatling could stand safely on the smallest ledges. The fox retreats, realizing it would fall to its demise if it tried to reach the little one. We'll show other cases where hoofed animals proved not to be underestimated in today's episode. Typically, animals caught by pythons have almost no chance of escaping if they couldn't evade the initial strike. However, this goat turned out surprisingly strong. The python clearly didn't expect such resistance from an ordinary domesticated hoofed animal. At first, the snake managed to bring the prey down, entwining almost its entire body and starting to constrict it. Yet the beast resisted the man-carrying reptile and it even managed to regain balance. Humans intervened, stunning the snake with a stick and helping the goat escape. This is not a unique case. Here, an enormous python couldn't even bring the goat down to the ground. The hoofed creature walked with the snake entwining its body. The python might not seem very large, but it's actually 3 times larger than the goat. Despite the snake compressing the hoofed animal, attempting to strangle and topple it, the herbivore fiercely resisted. Eventually, people came to the hoofed creature's aid in this case. They removed the snake and carried it away. It will seek an easier prey in the jungles. These domestic goats are clearly not suitable targets even for such dangerous predators. On farms, dogs and horses often coexist. Dogs sometimes forget that they are dealing with powerful hoofed heavyweights. Occasionally, dogs may playfully or seriously attack usually docile horses. Smaller animals may assume their huge herbivore won't retaliate. As you can see in all these cases, the dogs are dealing with the wrong opponent here. Horses give their adversaries an impressive resistance. As you can see, most often they use their hooves. A horse may bite, but only in extreme cases when truly angered. In those instances, it can literally break the spine of even a large dog. Here, an enraged horse managed the same with a wolf. The aggressive hoofed animal didn't stop and continued trampling the predator to ensure it was no longer a threat. A stallion can weigh over half a ton. That's 10 times more massive than even a large dog. So for the hoofed creature, this aggressive barking beast climbing and attacking poses no real threat. A single strike quickly brings the opponent to senses, reminding that calm behavior doesn't imply weakness. Notice how precisely a horse can kick the opponent regardless of the direction of the attack. A dog can approach its target from different sides, from behind, from the side, even from below. But the horse delivers a single, well-timed kick, and the dog simply flies aside. This precision is due to the herbivore's very wide field of vision. A horse's eyes are on the sides of its head. Although the hoofed animal assesses distance and depth worse than its opponent, it can notice attacks from various angles. This allows the horse to hit the target with the first strike, even against smaller prey, like birds. Perhaps in many cases, a dog doesn't pose a serious threat to the horse and is just playing around. That's a bad idea. The hoofed animal doesn't take the game lightly and responds to the intruder with a powerful kick. Cruel? But the horse isn't trying to inflict fatal injuries on its opponent. The herbivore is simply showing the playful neighbor who's in charge. Sometimes a horse may act aggressively out of fear. Nevertheless, provoking such a large animal is a bad idea. Particularly precise kicks send dogs into impressive flights, making them somersault in the air, tossing them away like a ram. Usually, the dog either immediately jumps up or lies stunned but alive. Which kick from the horse impressed you the most today? Share your thoughts in the comments. A herd of buffaloes grazed among the tall grass. Having an abundance of food is good, but there is a problem. The grass is so high that even adult lions can stealthily approach their prey without being noticed. This benefits a hunting group of predators. Normally, lionesses lead the attack and drive the prey, as the large and lush manes of males quickly ruin all camouflage. But under the cover of dense bushes, this time even an adult male managed to approach the enemies without much effort. The combination of lioness' agility and lions' strength allows such united hunting squads to defend even rhinos. Do these buffaloes really have no chance? It turns out lions underestimated their opponent. They revealed their presence too early. If the predators had approached within a pound's distance, they could have lunged at the throat of one of the buffaloes. Instead, they started openly surrounding the family of hoofed animals. Lions didn't know who they were dealing with. Instead of fleeing or panicking, the lead bull stood up to fight the predators, shielding his kin. He is much more massive and heavier than the lion male. The hoofed animal has roughly a 2-fold weight advantage over him and a 4-fold advantage over the lioness. However, the 3 lions together could have overcome him if it weren't for one peculiar trait: its aggression. The buffalo didn't just absorb the enemy's attack, he actively counterattacked. The bull charged like a battering ram and tossed the predators aside. Then he applied an elegant and at the same time impressive aggressive attack. The bull didn't allow lions to unite and pounce on him simultaneously. Instead, he constantly attacked one of the predators. He ran into a head-on assault, repelling either the lion or lioness. This prevented the predators from getting close to each other for a joint attack from one side. After that, the mighty hoofed animal didn't stop, but continued running in a wide arc, attacking again and again. If an enemy approached from behind, the agile buffalo immediately turned to face it, ready to strike with its horns. The cats didn't expect such agility. Facing him one-on-one, the lions simply wouldn't dare. Thanks to the fact that the bull was mostly in motion, its already immense force increased due to the momentum. Even a buffalo male would simply sweep aside anything in his path like a leaf. Moreover, the bull continually attacked with its horns, and the powerful base was the main striking part, acting like a sledgehammer. The rapid and sharp head movements to the side could protect against attacks from the flanks using the sharp tips. In the end, the lions had to retreat. The squad, including an experienced lioness and a powerful male, left this buffalo in peace. He saved his family and remained alive. Such courage and skill deserves your like, doesn't it? Have you ever experienced sitting at the computer, busy with important tasks, and suddenly a cat comes in, lies on the keyboard, and now it's their desk, their keyboard, and basically their room? What are you doing in here? Go fetch some food and you can go for a walk, don't disturb. It seems like this fluffy intruder decided to pull a similar trick with the horse Paddock. He lounges with them, walks around, behaving as if these are his horses. However, when they start touching the uninvited guest with their lips out of curiosity, the cat leaves. But not far. Fluffy lies down again, as if claiming rights to the entire farm. However, he just didn't know who he was messing with here. This horse won't be charmed by the cute kitty. The hoofed creature simply grabs him with his teeth and tosses him away like an old rag. The cat is alive and unharmed, but shocked, running away having learned a lesson. These hoofed animals managed to resist even his charm. That's a real true superpower. Grizzlies can run surprisingly fast and pursue prey for a long time. Over short distances, they can catch up with a horse. Although their speed decreases during prolonged chases, they can pursue their prey for a sufficiently long time until it gets tired and can't resist anymore. However, the predator didn't know what it was getting into when it started chasing mountain goats. Perhaps the predator hoped that the hoofed animals wouldn't have anywhere to run, and it would be easy to quickly trap them and deal with at least one, or maybe all the goats. But the herbivores shouldn't have been underestimated. It turned out that these mountain goats are masters at finding routes between steep and sharp rocks. Catching them in a trap didn't work. After the sudden attack, instead of scattering in different directions, these goats ran after each other on a pre-selected trail. It was a very good move. If the herbivores had just dispersed, they would have allowed the bear to catch one of them. Instead, the goats decisively, quickly, but calmly followed the leader along a certain path. The goats acted so efficiently that it seemed like they had rehearsed the chase on these slopes. The bear tries to catch them and grab the last animal in the chain. The predator deserves credit here. Fast running on these narrow paths is clearly not easy for the large pawed predator, but the hunter does its best. However, no matter how determined the predator is, it loses to the mountain goats in adapting to these conditions. Their sharp and agile hooves provide excellent traction on the rocks. The goats gradually pull away, and lunch slips away from the predator's paws. On such steep slopes, the bear had no chance of catching the mountain-hoofed animals, but the bear realized this a little too late. He can still retreat without the risk of falling, but with each subsequent step, he risks slipping off the steep slope even more. Success in the chase is not on his side. A few minutes later, the goats completely escaped the pursuit.